You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
And most of these guys won't be available with the Saints when the Saints pick in the second round if they decide to stay there. So I don't care whatever it is, try to make it as realistic as possible. You know what I'm saying? Give us a mock draft. Put together a mock draft, send it, comment on it, put in the comment section, and we'll read it in the next upcoming show. Also, the second sports coma question of the day is, what will the Saints record be? You tell us. You tell me what you think it's going to be. Tell me what the record is going to be this year after you went over the schedule and you had a chance to break down this is a win, this is a win. What do you think? How many wins do the Saints get this year? Seriously. And, of course, that's one of the fantastic things about it. And, of course, when you submit your draft, when you hit us with that win total, we'll put it on the show. We'll read all comments on the following show. So without further ado, let's get into our first topic of discussion, which is the Saints 2019 season schedule that's been released. And of course, it starts off with the preseason, where the Saints start August the 9th against the Minnesota Vikings. This is a home game. They'll face off with the Vikings. Then the next following two games will be against the Chargers in Los Angeles on August the 18th. August the 24th, they'll be at New York against the Jets. And, of course, the final preseason game will be August the 29th on a Thursday. They'll face off against the Dolphins in the Dome, and that'll conclude the preseason. Now, when the regular season jumps off, it'll be September the 9th. They'll host Houston in the Superdome on a Monday night game. So the Saints open the season up on ESPN, prime time against the Houston Texans. That's a pretty good opening matchup to have against the Houston Texans. They start there. And, of course, two back, then they hit the road for two. September the 15th, they face off in Los Angeles with the Rams. That is going to be a big game. That'll be an afternoon game, of course. They face off with the Rams. A lot of people looking forward to that. That should have actually been the opening game. That should have been the first week game right there, Monday night game against the Rams. That's what it should have been. The schedule makers kind of botched that one. But they should have put the Saints against Monday night against the Rams as opposed to against the Texans. But it is what it is. September the 22nd, the next game, they face off at Seattle. They go up there to take on Russell Wilson. Just got that big fat contract. We'll play them also during the afternoon, so it's 3:25 for that game as well. Then the Saints come home for a back-to-back stance as they take on the hated Dallas Cowboys on the 29th of September. That'll be a primetime game at 7:20 on NBC. And then the following Sunday, they'll face against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with new coach Bruce Arians running the show. It'll be interesting to see if he can get Jameis Winston's mind right. We'll see how that goes. Now, the Saints then go back to the road on back-to-back games. Sundays, October the 13th, they face off against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just picked up Nick Foles. Not just, but during this past draft free agency period, they picked up Nick Foles, who some believe will be the piece that completes what Jacksonville was trying to do, which Blake Bortles couldn't get him there. We'll see. We'll see what goes on there, but that's what the Saints do. October the 20th, the Saints go to Chicago. This will be a good game. It's an afternoon game in Chi-Town in late October. So, this is a pretty tough game against Chicago, too, going in Chicago to face them. And Hakeem Hicks is talking all that mess, still stanky and salty about the fact that the Saints got rid of him, and he's still talking mess. So hopefully we can shut that guy up finally. Sunday, October the 27th, at home after coming back from the Bears to take on the Arizona Cardinals. That's a noon matchup. Of course, Tyler Murray. A lot of people picking that man to be the first round draft pick coming up. A lot of experts saying that's where he fall. We'll get a good look at him October the 27th. Just to me, looks like just like Tyler. Looks like Russell Wilson to me. Maybe a faster version of Russell Wilson. I mean, we're gonna see how it goes. But one guy doesn't make a team, so watch out for that. Then, of course, November the 3rd, the Saints have a bye week after that Arizona game. Then the matchup November the 10th at home against the Atlanta Falcons. That'll be a nice matchup against them stinking Falcons. We did see that they did kind of gave us trolled us with that little fake garbage looking intro that they did where they have a deer or a ram. I mean, a ram running over one of the Saints fans on a little stinky thing that they did. Ha ha ha. You got us, whatever. I mean, we'll see what we got when we match up with you. Besides, they cheated us out of that was a cheat factor when that clown Roby ran over Tommy Lee Lewis. That's straight cheating, man. What you guys did against against the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl was absolutely just terrible. So it's not even the same, not even close. Next game, November the 17th, they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Tampa Bay. We'll get another look at Jameis Winston. If he's the still quarterback, Bruce Arians has work cut out for him. This Tampa Bay club could be very good depending on if they could pull some stuff together. Watching out. We get our first look at the Carolina Panthers on November the 24th as the Panthers come to town in a homestand as the Saints face off against Cam. Cam has to pull it together. We'll see what their unit look like. And, of course, the Saints then go on the road to face the hated Atlanta Falcons on November the 28th. That's a Thursday night game on NBC. Then the following Sunday, they have two back-to-back home games. One against the San Francisco 49ers is a noon game on December the 8th. Monday, December the 16th, the next home game, they face off against Andrew Luck in the Indianapolis Colts, and those guys are really getting better. So we'll see where that is. And then, of course, the two final games of the regular season schedule are December the 22nd, right before, a few days before Christmas. They take on the Tennessee Titans at Tennessee. We haven't been out there in a while, and Tennessee is playing good ball. We'll see what we can do with them. We should be able to beat that club. And then Sunday, December the 29th, they close the regular season against the Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton. Now, that's the full 2019 season schedule. A lot of interesting. I'm not going to tell you on the next show. I'll break it down and give you my wins and loss totals based on it. But just a quick note on the schedule. I mean, these guys. This is a pretty weird schedule. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty difficult. It's a difficult schedule. For the Saints. I mean, they have a lot of interesting matchups in there. They have a tough Houston club in there. Then open the season up against a tough Houston club at home. We should beat them. But then you go on the road against the Rams and Seattle. Those are really two tough teams to beat in home, especially Seattle. To beat them in Seattle is tough. Coming home against Dallas, we got that. And, of course, looking at Tampa Bay game, you don't know what they're going to be like, but I still get up a hand of the Saints. Then we got tough defensive, gritty battles with teams like Jacksonville and Chicago. They're very difficult. And, of course, toward the back end of our schedule, after we come from the bye week, we face off against divisional rivals Atlanta, one final time against Tampa, and we got two games against Carolina and Atlanta after the bye. So a lot of our divisional matchups don't happen until the second portion of the season after the bye week. Then, of course, San Francisco, a lot of people thinking San Francisco might be a contender because Garoppolo's back. We'll see. Indianapolis might be a contender because Luck is back. But our defense, man, that's why we get our pass rushers. We should get ready to get after those boys. Now, let's move on to the next piece of news dealing with the show. The NFL draft is coming. Of course, the draft is coming. And looking at the draft, I mean, we had some interesting pieces to talk about dealing with the draft. We had we talked about some topics before of who we think that the Saints should have in getting in the draft, getting to the draft. But anyway, you know what? Let's hold that draft discussion. Let's talk about a couple of news notes dealing with a few of these other guys. Ken Crawley, then we'll go back to the draft. Ken Crawley is another guy the Saints looking to bring him back. Of course, we covered the P.J. Williams signing. They brought P.J. Williams back for 1 year. Breaks down to like $5 million, and actuality is $2.5 million the way it's constructed. And they do bring him back for a super cheap deal to add kind of the depth to the back end. He's a guy I don't truly believe in P.J. Williams, but P.J. Williams is better than Ken Crawley, even though Ken Crawley might have a little bit more upside. But in the end, both of these guys are back into your secondary guys, and if they're moving into starting roles, for you, then you might have some issues. But I have absolutely no problem with PJ Williams playing the dime position and sticking back with the dime or what have you. But Ken Crawley is expected to sign his tender, which is a 1-year deal worth about $2 million, which is just a little less shy of what they offered to PJ Williams, and they're expecting him to sign his tender real soon. So he hadn't really got any play from anybody else, like as expected that he wouldn't. But the Saints are going to probably end up getting two of these. They're going to get both of these guys back for the upcoming season. So Ken Crawley looking out for him. Of course, another news, and those not too happy to make mention of this, is the fact that Tyler Davidson, it was recorded that Tyler Davidson was looking at actually signing with the Atlanta Falcons. He went out, I think he went out west and see if he could try to catch on with another team. But ultimately what ended up happening is Tyler Davidson ended up coming back to the Falcons. Now, of course, you know how I feel about that. I don't really like the fact that the Falcons trying to, trying to get some of our guys. Is pretty much what I'm saying. You know what they're trying to do. It's a cheap move to try to get one of our players so they could kind of pick his head, pick his brain, and kind of see what our nuances and do what they can do to try to beat the Saints. Well, it's not going to work, people. I mean, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work, Falcons people. It's not going to work. Now, of course, we did it. We did it to Carolina, if you remember. Right before we played Carolina the first time, we signed Cam Newton's brother, who played for Carolina. So this is a regular thing that most teams do, man. We go and we get, we end up picking up people, from other teams, and then end up picking their brains and see what they're doing. So, I mean, yeah, we'll see. But Tyler Davidson, man, big ups to him, man. He caught on with somebody else. With the Falcons, I don't like the fact that he caught on with the Falcons, but he should go in there and probably help them maybe be a starter. I'm not certain what he's going to do, but he was a staple for the Saints for a while. He was a guy that was probably one of the strongest Saints players they have. He didn't really put up a lot of stats, but in the end time, the Saints signed Malcolm Brown to a 3-year deal, about $15 million. Then they signed Mario Edwards Jr. There wasn't no more room for Tyler. Maybe we could have offered Tyler a contract, or they probably felt better if they can go get a guy like Jay Bromley or bring a guy in the draft. Who knows? But they felt like, you know what, we're going to let him go. We seen enough of him, but he signed a 1-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons. And peace out to Tyler Davidson. Now, moving ahead to the draft news, this is coming straight from the WhoDatDaily.com, as G Balance did. A mock draft covering was coming up. And, of course, with this mock draft, I'm going to go over it. If you want to see the article, I'll make sure I kind of have somebody to post it in the comment section so you guys can go ahead on it and share it around. And, of course, give your thoughts on what G Balance came up with how he covered this one. But in looking at the first few picks here, what he did in his draft pick, he had of course, you don't have a first round pick because they gave it up for Marcus Davenport. Second round pick, he got offensive lineman Chris Lindstrom from Boston College. Now, Lindstrom is a really good guard, so if he falls this far, that will be a solid pickup. He played guard and tackle at Boston College, and this dude is really good. So I mean, he could be a factor for them, but he has to fall to 62. So it's kind of a long range for him to do that, but who knows? Who knows? They might have they always are risers and droppers in the draft. So, but that's the first one to get. Now, I like that pick because it solves so many issues. It provides a young offensive lineman who can learn behind Armstead, Pete, and the rest of them. Of course, a lot of people not sold on Pete, like my dog Tim. He don't like Andrews Pete too much. Teron Armstead's always hurt. He's going to get hurt. That's what Teron Armstead do. So you're going to need quality offensive linemen. Michael Ola played well for him during the season. He got hurt. So you're always going to need young guys to come in and possibly make plays. Now, like I said, the guy could play two positions. If the Saints get tired of Armstead getting injured, they could probably save the money and move and get and they'll have options with Chris Lindstrom. So I do like that pick as well. Moving on, of course, the Saints gave up the 3rd round pick for Teddy Bridgewater from the Jets and the 4th round pick to the Giants for Eli Apple. Then the 5th round selection he has pick 168 Trayvon Mullins out of Clemson. Now, I watched this kid play, Trayvon Mullins. Big cornerback, he about 6'1", about a little bit over 200 pounds, but You look at his combine numbers. He ran 4.46 at the combine. He had a 34.5-inch vertical. So this kid is an athlete. He can move. He's long. He's rangy. He anticipates the breaks. He's fluid. So this guy could be a real help for him. And also, 6th round pick, 177. He has safety Malik Gant from Marshall, who's a hitter, who has some coverage ability, big, 6 feet, 200 pounds, looking good. 6th round pick, 202 edge rusher Jalen Jelks from Oregon, 6'5", 260. Then he has in one of his 7th round selections at 231, David Steels from West Virginia. Kind of remind me of a better version, upgrade of Keith Poole. Guy makes plays. And then the final pick at 244 is Keenan Brown, a tight end from Texas State. And they could definitely use that after watching what the hell Arnold did when he dropped that touchdown in the end zone during the NFC Championship game. That's right, I'm talking about it. But anyway, that'll do it for the show. Thank y'all for joining us today on the Sports Coma. If you like the show, subscribe, hit the notification button, look in the description section for the links, and support our sponsors. And check us out. Subscribe, man. Subscribe to the show. Thank you for joining us. Peace.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is the Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needs it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top-rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to EmbracePetInsurance.com. That's EmbracePetInsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Hit the link below and rep the black and gold today. Who that? Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Follow the Sports Coma on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.